Hello, I'm Sharon Benjamin, host of Leafless, Not Lifeless. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to come to you, and I hope you're getting something from the shows. You can contact me at leaflessnotlifeless@gmail.com. That's leaflessnotlifeless@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear about your stories about how you might have appeared to be leafless at one time, but you're actually full of leaves at this moment. So thank you so much. Listen, have you ever been abandoned by those who were supposed to take care of you? Have you ever been told to, as a child, to go and sit someplace, get out of adults' business? Have you ever been bullied? Well, my guest today, Syreeta Fields, has experienced all of those situations, but she recovered to become very productive. And she's going to share with us some of her strategies, things that she did, and how she navigated those situations, has become a college graduate, married with children, business owner, and author. I'm sure you will be wonderfully inspired. Hello, Syreeta. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, Sharon. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Sharon, for this opportunity. I'm so excited to share my story with you guys and just really help you guys through my journey, through the things I've went through. So I'm so happy and elated to be on here today.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you. Thank you so much. I know your schedule is busy. I know you have a little one. Uh,
Yes, I do. It's
that
okay.
it's
I'm
okay.
adjusting.
Yeah. Yes, we do, and that's fine. So, Sarita, I want to start out talking about when you were a kid. And, sometimes children have wisdom and knowledge beyond their years. But as you, I guess, attempted to be a part of adult conversations, you were told to move away, don't get in adults' conversations. How did you
Yeah.
handle that?
Oh, wow. So, as a child, I really noticed that I had a lot of wisdom. And to some people, it came off to be you just know it all and you just need to sit down. I was very opinionated, so I really liked sharing how I felt about things. I was not a child that liked to hold things in. So if I'm upset or I feel some type of way, you will know. You will know. So for me as a child, just expressing how I felt, even to my family, became second nature to them because I was born in a family where my family, they actually keep things to themselves. They're not transparent. So I always wonder why am I this transparent person? Like, why do I have to always say how I feel about things? And even being told, sit down, as a child, you don't know what you're talking about, stay in a little child's place. And that used to hurt my feelings because I'm like, just because I'm a child, do you think that, I don't have wisdom or I don't have the knowledge or I don't have an opinion? I don't have just basically a say so in things just because I'm a child, just because I appear to be mature, and that did deal with me at a sense. It made me feel like an outsider. It isolated me. So it caused me to want to just be in my own space. I was that child that would be in her room by herself, talking to her dolls, just playing imaginary
But wasn't that
conversation.
But wasn't that developing you, you think? Being able to,
So um I was a child. So all I knew was to do what I knew was normal to me. And what it did, and this is so interesting because I talked to my sister about this. She said, we noticed these things about you and thought it was odd. And she said, Mom really wanted to take you in to get help. So the result of that was something is wrong with you. We might have to take you to see a psychiatrist or something because that's not normal. Who sits and talks to imaginary people?
but
Who
children do that. Children do that.
Yeah. And I would close my door. So I would be in the room by myself. If as children, you want to have company or whatever. With me, I was fine with it. And with me also, I was the youngest. So me and my sister, we have like a like 12 to 13 year difference. And I was, really the only child in that sense of being the youngest. So it was more so like, my sister was a teenager or she was older. So I was just young, and I did want sisters and brothers. So a lot of times I would pretend like I had sisters, it was something about girls that I was attracted to, like in a way of their beauty and the way of, just them. It seemed like I was able to see the inside of them, if that makes sense. And I don't know, I just had that type of desire as a child in those senses. Yes.
So, but it sounds as if, and when you talk to people now and anything that you've read since that time probably lets you know that that was not really abnormal.
And that's what my sister said. She said, I'm so glad I stopped mom from doing what she was going to do, because she actually was the only one who saw me in a different light from everyone else. Like, it's nothing wrong with her. That's just what she likes to do. And it became a passion of mine. And also journaling. So being misunderstood led me to journaling, led me to a place of, if no one understands me, I bet you if I write it, it's coming from my thoughts, and it made me feel good. It made me feel like, someone's listening. So again, the whole imaginary thing, like, I'm writing as if I'm talking to someone.
So
And that became my comfortability. Yeah.
so with your starting to do that writing early,
Mm-hmm.
catapulted, and we'll talk about it later about
Yes.
writing, but so you were not leafless. You were not
Mm-hmm.
leafless during that time. You were really growing still. And thank God that your sister saw what was there.
Yes.
You also had a situation of abandonment by your father. How did
Yeah. So,
how did
go
that
ahead.
affect you? And what did you do during the time of his absence in terms of yourself?
So, y'all, starting with the way I was born and my family, there was some unknown things that I really did not know. So the way I looked at it, and I felt this joy. I had my mother, I had my father, I got anything I wanted. I was the baby in the family. So, I just felt this love between them. But what do you do when one of your family members tell you to stop calling someone your father because that's not your father? Oh my God. When I heard that, I remember breaking down, not only on the outside, but in the inside. And I was angry. I said, why would they lie to me? I just felt betrayed. I felt like, no one has. So you mean to tell me it's another story to this? So what I ended up doing was seeking help. And I was a child. I went to my grandmother, and my grandmother, rest her soul, she's not here today. But I went to her and I said, Grandma, is this true? I knew her. She's really blunt and she's not going to hide nothing from anybody. She said, Syreeta, it's true. She was like, you did have a father. And she said he was a great person. My grandmother was always that person. She looked on the beauty of the inside of the person. So no matter what the situation was, she said, Syreeta, he was a great man. That's all she said. He was a great man. She didn't trash talk him or anything like that. So what it did for me, it made me feel, I just got angry. I got angry at my family. First off, the person who told me, it was like, why did she do that? I was so happy. Why do I have to face reality? Why couldn't she stay in her own place? But she was like, I just want you to know the truth. So what it did for me, it made me feel rejected. It made me feel empty inside. I was just like, I don't understand, like, who would do such a thing? Then the anger turned towards my father, my biological father, because I was like, so you mean to tell me he left me? So my grandmother did tell me the story. She said he was in the hospital, he was present, but she said your mother turned him away. And that even made me angry at my mom at some point, because I'm like, why would she do that? Why would she turn him away? So I was just on this quest of trying to figure out my identity at a young age. Like, okay, I know my mom, and then this person who was supposed to be my father, it's happened that he's my stepfather. And my parents, they got married when I was 5 years old, and they met when my mom was expecting me. So I was in her belly when they met. So, yeah, it made me angry, just pretty much at everybody.
So how did you
I
turn
was,
that anger? What did you do with that?
oh my goodness. It was so sad. I carried that anger all the way throughout my adulthood. And it showed through my relationships with people, with men, just being in these situations where I'm constantly looking for love in all the wrong places because I didn't have that fatherly love. And to go even deeper, I couldn't even trust my stepfather because it was things that he did that I wasn't comfortable with. So that was another anger of mine. It got to the point I was angry at God. I was like, why would you have me be born into this family and this chaos, right? You had this man who I cannot trust, and a man who, just my
Abandoned
biological
you.
father, right? And he abandoned me. He left me. He left me at the hospital. I just felt left. I felt dropped. And what it did for me, it put in this deep rooted anger. I resulted to cursing. I resulted to just living my own life, and it caused me to have a division within God as well. Because I did get saved, I did get baptized at like 13 years old, and at some point, I was like, nobody cares about me anyways. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
what
So I
difference does
might
it
as
make
well
what
just
I
live my
do?
own life. Right.
Yes,
And I
yes.
went through a sense of rejection with the church too. So it just really added on to how I was feeling. So I just said, forget everybody. I don't care. I'm just going to go ahead and live my own life.
So you were in a state of basically self-destruction.
yes, self-destruction, self-hate. Self-hate was born from it. Actually, self-hate was born from it even when I was a child. So once I figured out what, everything that happened, it caused me to go into a dark place where I will have suicidal thoughts. I would feel like I'm not even worth living. Literally, as a child, I just went off to that sense.
So you also had an experience being the loquacious and wise young person that you were. You were
Hmm.
also bullied.
Yes. So to add in everything that's happening with my father, not knowing who he is, that was another area I was really angry about. Um, my family, feeling like everybody's against me. That's what I felt like. It got to the point that even my friends at school started to show how they truly felt about me. So I was that child, that little geeky. I had the glasses. I was buck tooth, which meant my teeth. They kind of they stuck out, the two front teeth,
Yes.
and I was really made fun of by how I looked. So not only feeling rejected by my family, I also felt rejected, even my own self. I felt ugly. I would always come home from school every day and call myself ugly. Syreeta, you're ugly. Syreeta, I can't stand you. Like I just got to this point of really meditating on just mistreating myself. And it got to the point like I had a friend who I guess pretended to be my friend, and I was set up. So I was outside. I remember like during recess, and they were pushing me around, just really mocking me, making fun of me. So it got to a point like I literally told the Lord, take me away. I don't want to be here anymore, you know.
And that
Not
was
worth
at
living.
what grade was that, Syreeta? Do you remember?
Oh, fourth grade. And that's what led me to tell my mom I wanted to leave that school. I figured if I changed location, then that would be a different outcome for me. So
Was it?
yeah, fifth grade was pretty bad.
Was it different?
For it actually was, but I had an encounter before I even went to the other school.
Tell us about that.
So leading up with all the rejection and the feeling of not wanting to be alive, it was my last day of school. Usually my dad, he would always walk me to school, and I still call him dad. Um, because he's been taking care of me all my life. Respect. But he will always walk me to school and he would tell me, make sure you go where the cross guards go, the crossing guards. Don't ever go by yourself. So on this one particular day, I was just like, this is the last day of school. I don't care about this school. I don't care about nobody. I don't even care about what my father said. I'm going to take my own way. I'm going to take my own way. And actually, I was running late for school too. So I'm like, let me hurry up and get there. So I took another route, the route that my dad normally doesn't take me, the route going against what he told me not to do. And what ended up leading me, I remember I looked both ways. I didn't see any cars. I ran across the street and boom, I guess I just went unconscious. And then all of a sudden, the lights just, the light just flashed.
As
And
people say, that you see the
yeah,
light.
you watch those cartoons,
Yes.
and when something happened and that white light come up, it is not a lie, because that's literally what I saw. And I was like, okay, so I'm all confused, like what just happened? I didn't know what was going on. Then after the light, I just saw myself just floating.
You had an out-of-body experience.
Out of body experience. Like first it was still, then I saw the light, then I just feel myself ascending slowly through the clouds, and I just saw blue. And on my way there, I heard this audible voice talking to someone else, and I'm like, I'm confused because I thought God was one person. You know what I'm saying? Who was he talking to? And when as soon as I ascended, I just felt myself stop. And he literally was talking to someone and was like, what is she doing here? And I was like, what do you mean? What am I doing here? Aren't you God? Like, I'm thinking this. Like, I didn't say nothing. I was thinking it. And I was like, what is going on? And what ended up happening, the words he said just put a chill all over me. He said, I'm not ready for her yet. He said, send her back. And I'm like, Cinder, what? Like, I don't know what this is. So I end up feeling my spirit meet up with my body. So apparently I was in the hospital being resuscitated back to life. And before I opened my eyes, I just heard voices. I heard cries. I heard people calling on Jesus, Lord, help me. And I'm still confused. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Like, what is going on? So I end up hearing the voice of the nurse. She said, sweetie, can you hear me? Can you hear me? And eventually I heard her and I responded. And that's when it all, went forward.
Wow, what a way to go with all of these. So you had a number of leafless, not lifeless situations, but you
Yes.
navigated them. You ended up going to college, finished college. And so with all of those things having happened, how is it that you ended up going to college?
Okay, so I have been actually born in a family where, education is a big thing. Being teachers is another, just being successful in a sense. So no matter what we're going through in our lives, or at least my family, they're just driven, they're ambitious. So one of the reasons that led me to college was getting away from my household, just experiencing abuse, just experiencing all kind of things that I felt wasn't normal. And at the same time, just wanting to experience that college life. So when you're in high school, you like, I can't wait to go to college, right? But what led me really to college was that I wanted to escape what was going on at the home. And I really just wanted to learn more about myself, I guess, and experience that college life. So what it did for me, even before I went to college, I was on National Honor Society. So I was very successful in high school in the sense that I had good grades. I had a 3.0 GPA. I was on top 10. So I believe I was number 5 out of the 10. I was, and I could go really back to grammar school. And that was another reason why I wanted to leave that school, was because I was failing my classes. So I even experienced failure all throughout my childhood. So my high school was my big breakthrough, my big breakthrough point where I was being something that I've never imagined I would be. So, anyways, I end up in college, right? I'm focused. I said, I'm going to be focused. I am not going to be distracted. So, I've made sure that I went to my classes. I, again, was that different person where people would laugh at me. They're like, Syreeta, you studying? We going out. Like, I want to study. I just didn't mind being my own self. I didn't want to follow anyone. So what that did for me during that time is just staying focused on my goals. And at the same time, I was trying to please my family. Okay, I'm gonna be so honest about that. Realizing how much they helped me to get there. My grandmother, I used her name to get into school. And yeah, I just thought in my mind, if I don't make it through school, through college, I don't want to be the one in somebody's conversation saying, Syreeta
Yes,
failed or didn't make
yes,
it.
yes,
So
yes.
I did come off to be a people pleaser. I did come off to try to, get my family to accept me. So all that rejection got me to that point of, if I do this, they'll love me. They'll, be so proud of me, type of thing. So
And
yeah.
and you wanted to uphold the family name, and congratulations for doing that. And
Yes.
with all of these situations, Syreeta, you came through the bullying and the abandonment and just the self-hatred and the thoughts of suicide and just
Yes.
so many different things uh,
Yes.
to be a business owner. So tell us
Correct.
about that.
So right now I'm on break with my business, and that's because I had the desire to expand my family. So I'm happily married. My husband and I were going on 5 years next week.
Congratulations.
Yes, which is a testimony for me because I never thought marriage existed. That's a whole nother different, or at least a healthy marriage existed.
Yes.
But yeah, to make it to 5 years is amazing. And my husband and I, when we got married, we were like, we wanted to expand our family, but not yet. We wanted to enjoy our marriage first. So it was going on 4 years of marriage where we decided we wanted to expand our family. So I had to come up with a plan, as a business owner, as someone who traveled to my clients, did their massages, and also, just doing what I did as a massage therapist and business owner. But what ended up happening, I realized that, okay, I want to expand this family, right? But at the same time, I have to figure out what to do because I can't carry my table when I'm pregnant. I can't do it. So I wanted to, which always had been my dream, is to hire people to do exactly what I do and to just be at home, take care of my family, be that stay-at-home mom, but also be able to bring in income. I really want to bring in income and not have to be there, right? And that's what my focus was as I was preparing. So once I got pregnant, I had this good grand plan. I wanted to hire therapists and everything else, and it just didn't work out. It did not work out because, we're in a time where people want to work for themselves. They feel like if I'm not getting paid this, I don't want to do it. They want to get paid more and things like that. So I went just going through all different type of obstacles with that. So what it ended up doing for me is I had to realize, what can I do now that's not going to require me to have to really sacrifice in a sense of what's going on in my pregnancy, just really looking out for myself and my health and my well-being of me and my child, and what makes sense to me. So what I ended up doing is just go ahead and accepting it for what it was, which
Yes.
was hard. I
But
didn't want to.
yes,
Right.
yes. But you're also a speaker, uh,
Mm-hmm.
encourager, and an author. And I have a picture of your book here that you can
Yes,
tell us
I
about.
am.
Maybe this is um, a journey that, let's see, this one right here. Oops, not that one.
Yeah, that's okay.
This one. Okay. All right. So tell us about your book.
So actually, I gave it to you guys. Everything I said about rejection, everything I said just about what I went through as a child with bullying and things like that is in my book. But it was a brief moment I shared. But what ended up happening in my book is you get to understand my story and my journey of overcoming rejection, overcoming just self-hate towards myself, and just walking in deliverance. Deliverance is literally just being set free of those things that has caused you to be in bondage. Okay. And I'm actually a deliverance worker. So when deliverance happened, we always go for what happened in the childhood because it's all connected. So everything that I'm saying is literally in my book. And really, it's about how God transformed my heart. Remember, I told y'all I was full of hatred, full of bitterness, full of anger. But once I rededicated my life back to Christ, that's when He really walked me through just loving Him and understanding His love for me. Okay. So, and what all that did was lead me straight to my husband. It led me straight to my husband. And from there, just being in a godly marriage has blessed me and blessed me in a way that I'm living healthy and a healthy lifestyle. So that's literally what my book is about.
So
And it will encourage you.
this is a picture of you as a little girl
Yes.
and as an adult with your glasses.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that is
That's what you see.
that is awesome. So Leafless, not lifeless is, I mean, your story is the epitome of that. And
Yes.
how can people get in touch with you, Syreeta? How could they reach you?
Okay, so I actually have a group. It's called Winning While Waiting. It's the spin from my book. I had the desire to build a community, especially after hearing so many cries, so many concerns pertaining to relationships. Just really hearing like, when am I going to be married, or when is this going to happen for me? So what I decided to do was come up with a group to help my people prepare. Okay. So that is another journey I was on, was preparing for marriage, preparing for my husband. So it's really good to know that you have a community of people that's thinking the same thing. Okay. That's similar. So this community that I build is really a community that has the desire to heal, has the desire to be transformed, and has the desire to just be the best and what God has placed in them. So this group you would definitely want to join. It's on Facebook. And I actually currently have over 400 members.
So
Okay.
how do they contact you on Facebook? What is your Facebook page?
It's my name, Syreeta
Okay.
Fields. And do you want me to put it in the chat for the spelling?
You can, or
Okay.
yeah, you can do that. And also, so how could people get a copy of your book?
So my book is on Amazon. So you can simply just put in Transformation from Rejection to Deliverance. I actually can put the link in there
Okay.
if that's possible.
Did you do the chat?
I'm in the chat now. So I'm going to put my name first. And also you can email me. I
Yes,
can put that in there as well.
good. And that way people can get in touch with you, go to the Facebook page. And do you have a particular meeting time, or just on the Facebook, the group? Do you just chat, share information, or how does that work?
Yeah, so my group is really open. You can post on the wall or you can message me through the group. But yeah, it's pretty open.
Okay. That sounds
Okay.
good. So, Syreeta, thank you so much. And while you're doing that, thank you, viewers and listeners, for being here with me on this episode of Leafless, Not Lifeless with Sharon Benjamin. I'd love to hear your story. I'm sure you have some. If you would like to share, please contact me at leaflessnotlifeless@gmail.com. Leaflessnotlifeless@gmail.com. I would love for you to actually share your story as well, just as Syreeta shared hers today. And I can also get the information to them. Syreeta, if you want to send it to me, I will do that. So,
Okay, got it. Yep, I'm almost wrapping it up too, so I can.
okay. And
Yep.
for those of you who are wondering my background, those are the trees that gave me the inspiration for the show, Leafless, Not Lifeless. So I've had some stories of my own, Leafless, Not Lifeless. But again, please contact me at leaflessnotlifeless@gmail.com. That's leaflessnotlifeless@gmail.com. All right, there you go. And there you have it. Syreeta, thank you so much. And I
You're
look
welcome.
forward
Thank
to
you.
hearing more about as you continue to grow and development. I grow and develop.
Yes.
Thank you for your
Yes.
time. Have a great one, and I'll see you the next time.
Thank you. See you. Bye, everyone.